Hey, it's Allie. I wanted to talk to you today about this book, Thanks for the Feedback by Douglas Stone and Sheila Heen. Now, the book came out in 2018 and it's dense, so I want you to know that it's a big one. I actually have another video posted, and we'll have a link to this, where I go into a lot of detail about what's in the book, and it's a bit longer than this video. But why am I recommending this book? Because this book is about how we receive feedback, how we receive it. And even when it's poorly delivered, which it often is, for those of us who are curious, we want to grow, we want to develop, we want someone to help us see our blind spots. And by blind spots, I mean that when we get feedback, one of the things we're really getting is somebody else telling us what the impact of our style, of our work, of our delivery is on them. They do a very good job in this book of talking about recognizing our own triggers, so what's coming up for us when they're giving us this feedback. They talk a lot in the book about how much we equate our identity with our work, and so what happens when that's being threatened or we feel threatened by the feedback. They also quote another writer, Daniel Gilbert, who wrote a book called Stumbling into Happiness, or Stumbling on Happiness, and I might review that another time in the future. But Daniel Gilbert talks about when people are asked to predict how they'll feel if they lose a job or a romantic partner or something, they constantly overestimate how awful they'll feel. And that's further compounded by our tendency to underestimate how resilient we really are. And I share that part of what Daniel Gilbert said because in the book, they really help you to manage your own reactions and looking at feedback like, wow, if even one thing in this feedback is true or helpful, how might it help me to grow, to see my blind spots? Now, there's a lot written about how we separate the relationship from the feedback. There's a lot written about the 3 different kinds of feedback that we need and how important it is that the feedback be signposted as such. I'm giving you appreciation feedback. I'm giving you evaluation feedback. I'm giving you coaching feedback. Or if you're asking for feedback, to be clear about what kind of feedback you're asking for. So it really helps you to manage the input that you get at work and how you can use that to grow. And there's a lot about growth mindset, which I reviewed a while back, and all things lead back to growth mindset. Ultimately, what we want in our organizations is to learn, to develop, and to grow. And this book helps you figure out how to manage your own reactions to the feedback and take the data in whatever form it comes to you and use it in some useful capacity. So it's a dense one. There's a lot of models and a lot of theory in it. It's written by a couple of people from the Harvard Negotiations Project, but I loved it and I rely on it a lot when I'm coaching managers on giving and receiving feedback. So check it out.